Hypixel World Wars, a game introduced on Hypixel on 15th of March 2022. With its introduction into the prototype lobby, it blasted into popularity. Several YouTubers and influencers and hundreds of players playing it. It was so popular that it was on par with Hypixel Skyblock on its hype level. Thousands and thousands of players were waiting for its release and for its potential updates that were yet to come. But when the game was released, it just died. How can a game go from getting around 300 average players to not even over 20 in the span of like a month? What went wrong? In today's video, we will discuss and dive into why World Wars was a game with just as much potential as Bed Wars, but was ruined by Hypixel. Now keep in mind, this video is based on my knowledge and my opinion and experiences that I've had while playing World Wars even back in the prototype days, and most of these reasons are quite opinion based, but I've made sure they're not too radical. But without any further ado, let's dive straight into it. The first and the main reason I want to give was its absurd update. While I know one of the reasons why World Wars died was the lack of updates, it was more so the lack of the correct type of updates. You see, back when World Wars came out, it had 4 classes: Tank, Utility, Berserker, and Archer. All of these classes were very balanced and none of them were too powerful, which balanced the PvP in game. Along with all these classes, you got 1 keystone power-up each round, which could be used only once. Again, none of these power-ups were too OP. Most of them were either healed you or gave you some sort of benefit that didn't really make you crazy good. But the problems came when some influencers started speaking out about their opinion on it. Now, don't get me wrong, YouTubers talking about their opinion on games, it's great, but the problem comes when the devs listen only to them. Not to mention any names, but these certain YouTubers had a lot of influence on the Hypixel devs. To basically sum up what they said in a nutshell, they said that the game was too fast and that it needed to be slowed down and that the kits needed to change because they were too bland. Now, I agree to this to some level. Hypixel added a update to World Wars listening to just these influencers and not considering that there's a larger player base than just them. In the update, they added a cooldown to the wall in the middle, changed a lot of the kits, and added new maps. This is where the first player wave left, because the game was too long, the PvP was too annoying, and the kits were horribly unbalanced. The Golem kit, it was and still is useless. Engineer required you to just heavily rely on your teammates for PvP, and the whole idea of rushing mid was destroyed because now you had to fight for the first 20 or seconds before mid unlocked. And oh yeah, did I mention they also added matchmaking? I don't even need to explain this point. No one wanted matchmaking, and if you don't know what it is where individuals or teams in search for a game and they're matched with similar players. The whole core concept of the game was changed. The game went from a fast-paced, simple PvP to sweaty and Bed Wars like. The Hypixel players, they wanted a change in taste and not similar games to Bed Wars and Sky Wars. Another problem was the lack of updates, more so the lack of good updates. See, World Wars needed more diversity, different game modes. Not just 4v4, because most of the kits required you to rely on a teammate and you can't solo queue because you'll most probably lose. They could have added 2v2s, 1v1s, 3v3s, and even dream modes like Bed Wars. They also could have introduced new power-ups and changed the kits after their player base vocalized their opinion on how disgustingly unbalanced it was. But they did none of it. The game just died because the devs no longer cared about it, and it became boring, repetitive, and sweaty. Before I conclude this video, I wanted to say they can probably still fix it. It's not too late, it's never too late, and I know so many people that would want to play World Wars just like in the old days when it was actually fun. Anyways, that is gonna be it for today's video. I know it's short, and I know I haven't uploaded in a long time, but let me know your opinions on the game down below in the comments. I would definitely read them, and I would like to see what other people think about it as well. But other than that, stay safe and peace out.